So you downloaded the Brehdren cell phone stand, or maybe you were at the show and you got one given to you and you want to know how to put it together. So this is how you put together the Brehdren cell phone stand, and here it is. So what we've got, we need some equipment. We might need scissors. We'll probably need glue, and here's some, I like to use like stir sticks or popsicle sticks, but you can use like a piece of folded paper. Sometimes it's handy to have like an X-Acto knife or a ruler, and don't cut on your table. You want to cut on a cutting pad, so make sure you have a cutting pad to do that too. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start just by cutting it out, and the trick is there's little flaps. You want to make sure you don't cut the flaps off, but you just have to cut along the edges so that you have, there we go, and these little lines. So you just cut along the lines. This piece is easy because it's just like a big square, except for the top part. And right at the top, you just cut in on an angle. And you don't actually have to be perfect with these, like that. I mean, the cutting on the edges and stuff, like I have like a little bit of extra white there. Okay, so there's that piece, and I'll get rid of these scraps, don't need those. And now I'm going to cut this piece out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this same thing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, but I'm not going to worry about the triangles yet. This just makes it a bit faster. And you just cut it out. Again, you want like where the flaps are, because the flaps all end up inside, so you don't actually have to be perfect with the flaps. Okay, here I go, cutting in. I'll cut down that line into the corner. There we go. And then back up. I'll show you all that where I've cut in a moment, but over, up, over, and I'm just doing like a, rough cut, if you will, first, and then I'm gonna trim it up and make sure it's better or near perfect when I'm all done. The trickier part is scoring it after, and I'll show you what I mean by that if you're not familiar with the term. Okay, so I've got those pieces. I'll get rid of that. Oh, that's kind of cool though, is there's little pictures, right? You can keep these. You can like take these and glue them to like your instrument and stuff, so you have like where your sticker book, if you got a sticker book, right? You could keep those and glue them onto things. This one's fun too, because it shows you on this one how other ways you can like adapt this so that you can use it for more than just your cell phone stand. And how it works, because you can put a cell phone. Do I have a cell phone? Yeah, I do. You can put it set sideways or vertical, and if you cut, if you look very carefully on the vertical piece, you gotta look very careful because it's very, very subtle. But right in here, there's some dotted lines, and if you just cut those dotted lines, they should be wide enough for most standard cell phone jack, so you can actually make it so that your cell phone can stand on it with the cable hanging out, right? I've done that, and sometimes I fill it with nickels, or you could fill it with marbles when you're done. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the funky shaped one, right, and I'm just going to fix the corners now. Now I'm going to go in and get all those corner pieces out. Just like that. So let me just cut these out. And also, if I didn't already, which I did on one of them, see I did on this one, I cut right into the corner. Oh, I did on both. So now I just got to cut these ones out. And there we go. Cool. Now, this next part, I've done this with a pair of scissors before. If you got a big enough pair of scissors, Some of these you can do it like this. You just put the scissors over the edge of the line, and then you push up with your finger, and that's how you can score it, or you can fold it over that. If you're also very careful, sometimes you can just fold it on your own. You got to be pretty fancy to do that. Pretty good with working with paper. I'm not so good like that. And maybe what I want to do is take the back of my scissor and really give it a good fold, because those are kind of important. But how I usually do it with an X-Acto knife and a ruler. And what I do is I go in, I take my ruler, and I very lightly, not hard enough to cut, but just lightly enough to score it. So scoring is like cutting only the top layer of it. So I'm pressing very lightly. In fact, I'm barely pressing at all. But what it does is it just gives enough information to the paper to know to fold there when you go in and fold it. It makes it very easy to fold it. You can't cut too much, or else you end up having to tape it all back together. So now I've got this piece, and you can fold them back and forth just so the pieces are ready to go. You don't have to worry about which way yet, but it's gonna go like this. That's going to be the bottom. The big part without the fold, without the top part there, is going to be the very bottom. And it's going to go up like that. Okay, and then now we'll get the other piece ready. This one's a little more work because all the different angles. But what I'm going to do is once again go in there and score all of these angles. So this is a special release for Brehdren's 5-song release. This is June 2nd, 2018, and this is the celebratory cell phone stand that comes with it, and on it there's a picture of a guy drawing. And in front of it, behind him is a newspaper, and it's the classifieds. And the guy, his name is Benny. His name's Benny Bones, but actually he's his full name is Benneth Kenjamin Bones. And it's a funny story about Benneth is that he was dancing one day. He started dancing to ska music, and he really liked ska music, the offbeat and the fun tempo and the horns, and it just kind of caught him, and he got all involved in it, and he started really loving dancing. And then one day he was dancing, and he accidentally wandered from one ballroom to another, and he accidentally wandered into a dance competition, and he ended up winning the dance competition. And that's why Benny has I forgot to score a piece here. That's why Benny has a ribbon around his neck and top his head, a gold crown. I forgot the corners, the edges, so I gotta go right through the center now. The cool thing is I just line up the ruler with the black lines and just whoop, real quick light stroke there, and the other side, and whoop. Okay, boom, there we go. And that will become the rest of the cell phone stand, or whatever. I mean, you could put a lot of different things on here. You could put I don't know, little tiny television, or maybe a small picture frame, maybe even a sketchbook. I'll bet you could put a tiny book in there too. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this ready. So this is the bottom part. Keep in mind there's the top where that has the angles, right? There's one part on this where it doesn't have any paint, ink, right? So you can tell that. And so I'm looking for the big square on the bottom, okay? And that, the back attaches to it. So I'm going to take my glue now, okay, and make sure that if you're using glue, you're using it safely and you're not gluing yourself or someone else you know to the wall. So here we go. I'll take the glue. For ease, I just like to take the lid off. So I'll just take the lid off, and then I'm going to use one of these sticks to get some of the glue. And this is just like regular glue, I think. I don't know. I don't need too much of it either. That's what's neat about these, is that you just need enough to stick it. So I'm going to take a little bit and I'm going to put it on the flap, okay, on the bottom ones, so near Benny's feet, okay. And I'm going to put some on the side ones too, because you might as well just do the whole bottom all at once. And again, I don't need very much, so I'm just going to scrape the extra glue off. Yeah, this is like a real do-it-yourself kind of cell phone stand, so it's kind of fun that way. You get your own little, you know, like it's like a project. It's like not only do you get to help support a local band, because you can buy the album. You can just have this on your desk at work and tell people about it, and tell people about Brehdren. Okay, I'm going to grab another stick. I find this kind of handy, is to have some kind of stick. I've used tweezers for this. I could probably use the back of the X-Acto, or maybe even my ruler, but I don't want to get glue on my ruler, so I'm going to use this stick. What I'm going to do is just try and make it line up perfectly with the edges. And there I go. I think that has it. So that, whoops, that moved it a bit. There we go. That's the edges. The Brehdren cell phone stand, and I think it says that somewhere on here. No, it's on the pieces here. There you go. Brehdren.com, BREHDREN.com/cell phone holder, CELLPHONESTAND. Did I just say cell phone holder? I meant cell phone stand. So Brehdren.com/cell phone stand is where you can actually download this. If you just happen to be finding this video on YouTube, no, you can actually have one of these cell phone stands for your own. Now, if you're finding this online, you can buy one if you want by sending, and you can find this information at cell phone stand. And by buy one, I don't mean buy a piece of cardboard. I mean, you can support the band by buying one of these. Okay, so that's really just a way of donating to the band. But you can actually download the PDF and print this yourself. If you print it on cardstock, you can print it out, and then you can cut it out and make one your own. So you don't have to pay for it at all. The band is giving these away. I'm putting the next set of glue on. There we go. And the band's giving them away for fun. But if you want to support the band, you can by sending a donation to the details are there at Brehdren.com/cell phone stand, BREHDREN/CLLPHONESTAND. I should just put a link in the comments or something like that, or in the description. That's how they do that. On the YouTubes, they put the comments and stuff in the description. So we'll do that, and there'll probably be like words or like the link or something appearing right there. So I'm using the stick again just because it makes it easier to hold it together. Otherwise I got to get my big hands in there, and I'm kind of clumsy that way. This is why I work with paper and not like brain surgery or anything. Okay, and there we go. There's almost done, right? This is, oh, wait a second. There seems to be an extra piece. I didn't realize that. I guess I don't need that part, because this will fold in there. So I actually have an extra piece here The one you have will probably have this part fixed. So you won't have to do that, but there's like a little, I got an extra flap. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna continue gluing the rest of this. So, and I'm kind of waiting, that's why I'm stalling every so often, is just to let this part, let the glue bond a little bit. It says here on the glue bottle, to let it hold in place for 15 to 30 seconds until the bond sets. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm letting the bond set. And this is this glue is perfect for this project. As you can see, it's almost like it's designed for it. But any glue will do. Well, not any glue. But you just like school glue, right? Like you could probably do this with a glue stick, even if you don't like this kind of liquid glue. And if you had a horse, you could probably make glue, right? Or tape even. I bet you could do this with tape. There we go. And once again, I'll get my stick and I'm going to hold it behind there. So it can hold, and what did it say? It said it has to bond, James Bond set, match. Okay, so now you can see it coming together now. It just glues. It's very simple. It's a very simple thing. The design of this went through many different stages, but in the end it became very, very simple because it works. Sometimes making things too complex is a bad idea. And we should just keep things simple. So I'm actually going to put the glue on the inside just to make this easy for me. So I'm putting it at the top there. Oops, I got a little bit on the outside. There we go. And rather than gluing the tab itself, I'm just putting the glue on the inside. So this way, all I got to do in the final end bit here is just fold that in and push down. And then that tab goes in, and then I hold it with my fingers. Hopefully I don't have too much glue on my fingers. And that is my cell phone holder. So I've got a cool picture of Benny on the background there, on the back of the back of the stand, right? And I just got to hold this for 15 to 30 seconds. See, I'm a little bit, I pushed it too far in, so I might have to like try and pull that out a bit. There we go. I'm just pulling it out with the X-Acto. I've used tweezers for this too. I've got some really fine, nice tweezers I picked up somewhere along the wall. I found it in the wall actually, in this house over there. Just they're underneath the edging between the carpet and the wall. Before we took the carpets out, there was. Looks like I made a small error. Let me see if I can fix that. Anyways, this is what's cool, is you can even make a few errors. I don't think I can fix it. Okay, there we go. Now I should have shown you, I'm going to show you that you can do it after too, but see, I could have filled it with nickels before I finished gluing this last piece at the top. I could have just filled it with nickels or pennies, because pennies, they're not really all that useful anymore, especially in Canada. They don't even accept them. So you could fill it with pennies or marbles or small pebbles. Yeah, if you're looking around, trying to think of other things that weigh stuff. But anyways, you could also, and I've heard about this about paper craft, because that's what this is. This is paper craft, is that you can actually, you could spray it with like some kind of like epoxy, or you can cover it, paint it with epoxy or something like that. So it like seals it up, and like you could, and then it would like have a plastic coating even. I think that's a bit much, because what I like about this is just glue and paper, and because of that, it's completely recyclable. So you can actually just crush this and put it in the recycling bin. here's my phone. My phone's seen better days, but there we go. As you can see, my little cell phone holder now holds my phone up, and it can hold it both ways. With this particular design, I've increased the angle there just so it makes sure it can hold it. I think that this could even hold larger phones as well, just so that even maybe an iPad. I don't know if I've got one nearby, but I'll find a book. I've got a book here, so you could just take a book and you can so you could use it as a book holder too, to put a book on display, or do I have a there we go. We could even leave it like open, maybe even if we could, if the book stayed open. So that's kind of neat. You can hold all sorts of things with it. And what I'll do as a bonus, I'm going to show you that there is, like, it's hard to see, and I don't think I can show you on the camera, but if you look very, very carefully, you would see that there's actually dotted lines there. And if you, I should have done this first, before, and there's dotted lines. This kind of shows you on the thing here that there's these little dotted lines right there on the end. I'm going to try and do this right here. Just like that. There we go. And what's going to let me do is it's going to let me, I can't even see them. Where's the other ones? There they are. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I used to just sort of guess, but I kept having to like charge my phone, and I liked it. You can always charge it sideways, right? You can put it on like horizontal if you want to watch if you want to watch a movie or something, then you'd watch it sideways anyways. But let me see if I can just get this working. So what you do is you just cut in, and you know what I've realized is that you don't even need to like finish cutting it. You can just, once it's cut a bit, you can just push it inside out, just like that. Boom. And now there's a little hole there. I think I can like do this a little more. Everything's happening now. The dog's getting all whiny and okay. So what I'm going to do, just for fun, I'm going to put this on for you. Show you that it works just like a... Turn the video. There we go. Just watch that for a second. I'm going to go get my power cable. This video, it's available on this very channel. If you click on the YouTube video, you can watch this whole video. So what's cool is, even if you wanted to like charge your phone at the same time, now I can plug my phone in. I think that's plugged in, and then I should be able to. Now maybe I need to cut it a little more, and sometimes you might need to just cut that bit right out. Okay, so I'm going to just cut that whole bit right across. Here we go. You ready? Watch this. No, I don't want to cut the Brehdren logo. That's too far. That's cutting too far. You don't want to do that. There we go. Cut a hole right into it. So now that piece is just... Whoa, I almost got my finger stuck. There we go. This works, I swear. There we go. And then my phone can go in there like that, right? And it holds it perfectly, right? I don't think that's working as well as I wanted it to. Ah, there we go. Look at that. I just put a little loop of the cable in there and it's working out pretty good. I cut too far. I don't want to... Maybe I could glue that back together. A little bit of glue. Just keep that all glued back together. Or a little bit of tape maybe. But that's the idea there. A cell phone stand. For your cell phone that you can get, and you can hold it down just like that, and that's how you glue it. And you can cut a little hole in it there, and now you can like watch movies and stuff, and it's cute because it's got little Benny Bones on the background there, where you can see Benny.
Well, I hope this helps. Have a great day. Take care.